Our mission today is to redefine what greatness actually means.
Yeah.
Like, is it always about absolute untouchable dominance, or is it sometimes about unyielding, almost, I don't know, stubborn persistence?
And to explore that, we're looking at a profile of a racehorse named Narita Top Road.
Yeah.
And notice, the text doesn't introduce him as the undisputed king of his era. It literally refers to him as the brave challenger.
The brave challenger. I love that.
Right. And I want to set the stakes for you, the listener, right from the jump here. Even if you know absolutely nothing about horse racing, even if you have never watched a single race in your life, this is a universal story.
For sure.
This is about what happens when you are incredibly, undeniably talented, but you just so happen to be born into a generation of absolute historic titans.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because to really understand Narita Top Road, we can't just jump to the finish line of his career. We have to start at the breeding shed. His origins perfectly set up his role as the ultimate fan-favorite underdog.
Yeah, it all starts with his pedigree. He comes from the Soccer Boy sire line, which immediately tells a seasoned racing fan two things.
Okay, what's the first?
First, Soccer Boy was notoriously known for having a fiery, unpredictable, difficult temperament.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that is a genetic variable. Breeders and trainers usually lose sleep over. They're terrified it'll be passed down and make a horse just completely untrainable.
Like a wild card?
Exactly. But the text notes something critical right away. Narita Top Road inherited none of that volatility. He was surprisingly calm, stoic even. He was a well-behaved horse, carving his own path right from birth.
But the tension isn't just about his dad's temper, right? It's about the economic and competitive landscape of Japanese racing in the late 1990s.
Oh, absolutely.
Because this was an era completely, totally dominated by foreign bloodlines. Specifically, an imported American stallion named Sunday Silence, who was basically acting as a cheat code for the entire industry.
The total cheat code, yeah.
If you were an owner who wanted a guaranteed return on your massive investment, you bought into that imported Sunday Silence lineage.
And that is the crucial context here. Against that backdrop of deep-pocketed, imported dominance, Narita Top Road was a proud product of a domestic sire line.
He was the local kid.
Right. He wasn't the genetically engineered corporate favorite. He was the homegrown gamble. In the eyes of the public, he represented the local kid trying to make good against the imported giants.
And then the story adds the final critical ingredient to this underdog cocktail. He enters the stable of trainer Yoshio Oki, and he is paired with a jockey named Kunihiko Watanabe.
And Watanabe is not some seasoned veteran with a wall full of trophies and decades of tactical mastery. He is a rookie jockey in only his 4th year as a professional. The fans weren't just rooting for a fast horse. They were rooting for a domestic bloodline and a rookie rider taking on the deep-pocketed, foreign-blooded establishment.
Yeah.
It is a narrative of pure, raw potential against deeply entrenched institutional power.
You can just feel the crowd getting behind them right from the start. But, you know, underdog stories are only charming if you can actually compete.
True.
Which leads us directly into the absolute gauntlet of the 1999 classics.
The classics are the ultimate proving ground for young horses, and 1999 was not just a normal year. This generation forms what the fans would later officially dub the 3 great rivals.
It's a big 3?
Yep. You have TM Opera O, Admire Vega, and our horse, Narita Top Road. These 3 completely defined the era.
And Top Road actually starts this rivalry making a massive statement. In a major prep race called the Yayoi Show, he actually defeats Admire Vega.
Which is huge.
Yeah. And remember, Admire Vega is exactly that highly regarded elite bloodline horse we were just talking about. He is a direct son of that imported giant Sunday Silence.
The corporate favorite.
Exactly. So the local kid beats the imported dynasty. That victory tells the racing world, we aren't just a cute story, we are serious contenders for the Triple Crown.
But the classics, as the source material points out, are a brutal series of races. They're designed to test every single facet of a horse's physical and mental maturity. It is not a fairy tale where the underdog just coasts to victory.
Right.
In the Satsuki Show, which is the first leg of the Triple Crown, Top Road finishes 3rd behind TM Opera O.
A tough break. Then in the Tokyo Yushun, the Japanese Derby, which is arguably the highest pressure race in the entire country, he finishes 2nd, this time behind Admire Vega.
Agonizingly close.
Twice he falls short on the absolute biggest stages.
Yeah.
Third place, then second place. I mean, imagine the immense psychological pressure mounting on that rookie jockey, Watanabe. You have a horse with all the potential in the world, the fans are screaming for you, you're the chosen one, and you keep just missing the crown.
The tactical paralysis for a rookie in that situation must have been overwhelming. But then comes the kicker show. This is the final leg of the Triple Crown.
And mechanically speaking, this race is a monster. The distance is 3,000 meters. That is a grueling, lung-burning marathon.
It really is.
You can't just rely on pure sprint speed. You have to perfectly manage your stamina. Narita Top Road enters as the third favorite. The hype had actually cooled slightly, but out there on that demanding long-distance track, his stamina absolutely shines. He outlasts his rivals. He claims the 1999 Kicker Show Championship.
It is a phenomenal breakthrough. And for Watanabe, that young jockey, it is his first ever G1 or Grade 1 victory.
They reach the mountaintop together. Now, later that year in the 1999 Arima Kinnan, he faces older giants from the previous generation, legendary horses like Grass Wonder and Special Week. He finishes 7th.
A bit of a wake-up call.
Yeah, a reality check against fully mature horses.
Yeah.
But still, he's a Triple Crown leg winner. So here's where it gets really interesting. I see.
When you win a leg of the Triple Crown, you aren't the plucky underdog anymore. The public expectation fundamentally shifts from, I hope he does well, to he is obligated to dominate every time he steps on the track.
Ah, the math of greatness changes. The victory mathematically ruined his ability to ever just race comfortably again?
Exactly. That victory raised expectations to an impossible, suffocating level right at the exact moment his greatest rival was about to enter a god-tier phase of competition.
Which brings us to the brutal, unforgiving reality of the year 2000. Going into 2000, Admire Vega actually retires early due to injury.
Right.
So the public looks at the landscape and assumes the three great rivals is now just a two-horse race. It's going to be an epic back-and-forth duel all year between Narita Top Road and TM Opera O.
That was the expectation. But the sources are clear. 2000 did not become a two-horse rivalry. It became the year of TM Opera O.
Oh, man.
Opera O produces one of the most mechanically dominant seasons in the entire history of Japanese racing. He goes completely undefeated. He doesn't just win. His tactical versatility breaks the will of the horses behind him.
And Narita Top Road faces him 6 times that year. 6 times. And he loses every single one.
And it actually gets worse. Because Top Road wasn't even finishing second to Opera O. That role, the eternal runner-up, was taken by another rising horse named Meisho Dodo.
So Top Road is pushed even further down the podium. He's stuck somewhere in between the absolute best and the second best.
He struggles just to secure his place in the pack. And the ultimate humiliation comes when Top Road is completely excluded from the Japan Cup because he has insufficient prize money.
Wait, let me make sure I understand the mechanics of this.
Right.
A reigning Kicker Show champion, a Triple Crown leg winner, isn't allowed to race in the Japan Cup because his bank account isn't high enough?
Precisely. Horse racing is an economy, and prize money dictates tiering. The rule exists to ensure only currently elite, winning horses enter the most prestigious races.
That is brutal.
But for a reigning champion in a slump, being told, your money is no good here, is a staggering bureaucratic indignity. He finishes the entire year of 2000 with 0 victories.
0. Just 12 months after standing on top of the world. So I have to ask this, and I really want you listening right now to think about this dynamic. How do you keep going when you realize you might just be the third best in your era? Is it a failure of the horse, or is it just terrible historical timing?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, this is really about the profound psychological weight of an unbeatable feeling. It wasn't that Narita Top Road lost his talent.
Right.
It wasn't that Watanabe suddenly forgot the aerodynamics of riding. The standard of his era simply shifted to an impossible metric. History is just stubbornly blocking your light.
And the natural reaction to that kind of systemic humiliation, 0 wins, excluded from major races, constantly choking on the dust of Opera O and Meisho Dodo, the natural reaction for most competitors, or their wealthy owners, is to fade away, to politely retire and protect whatever breeding value the horse has left.
But the transition we see next is entirely driven by Narita Top Road's absolute refusal to disappear. With his 2 greatest tormentors casting a shadow over everything, he enters 2001, and he immediately reminds everyone of his undeniable physical strength.
Yeah,
He wins the Hanshin Daisho 10. And he doesn't just win it, he sets what was then a world record time for 3,000 meters.
A world record. at 3,000 meters. We talked about the lactic acid and the sheer lung capacity required for that distance. Setting a world record isn't just a win, that is a massive, violent statement. That's him saying, I am still here, and my engine is still world class.
It is a monumental comeback moment.
Yeah.
But the cruelty of his era persists. The biggest G1 races still slip away from him. In the Tenno Spring, he finishes third again, stuck behind Opera O and Meisho Dodo.
And we can't ignore the sheer physical danger he faced either. The source material details a terrifying accident in the Kyoto Daisho 10. A horse named Stay Gold suddenly swerves into Thoroughbreds' path, causing a massive fall.
We have to really visualize this. You have 1,200 pounds of muscle moving at nearly 40 miles per hour, surrounded by a dozen other horses.
Yeah.
The physics of a fall at that speed are catastrophic.
Just horrifying to think about.
A crash like that can easily be fatal, or at the very least, career-ending. The sheer trauma of a fall usually ruins a horse's psychological willingness to ever run in a tight pack again.
Which makes sense.
Miraculously, both horse and rider escaped serious physical injury. But the resilience required to willingly step back into a starting gate after a near-death experience on the track is astounding.
It just adds to this incredible narrative. He is constantly battling adversity, both the metaphorical shadows of his historic rivals and the literal life-threatening dangers of the sport. But he does get some vindication against those shadows, right? Later in 2001, in the Japan Cup, he finally manages to beat Meisho Dodo.
He does. But Opera O is still there, finishing 3 lengths ahead of him.
Still casting that long shadow. But there is an incredible hidden stat in the source material that absolutely changes how we should view his entire struggle.
Oh, are you talking about the metric of who actually managed to beat Opera O?
Yes. Across TM Opera O's entire legendary undefeated season-having career, only 2 horses ever managed to beat him twice. Meisho Dodo and Narita Top Road.
It proves mathematically that he belonged in that absolute elite tier, even if the gold medals didn't always reflect it at the end of the year. You might be the undisputed king of the generation, but I'm one of the only 2 challengers who ever managed to bloody your nose twice.
Exactly. And then we move into 2002. Opera O and Dodo have finally mercifully retired. With his 2 greatest tormentors out of the picture, 2002 should have been Narita Top Road's uncontested coronation.
But age in horse racing is a cruel, unforgiving variable. He is the elder statesman now, the last surviving star of the 1999 generation. And he starts strong yet again.
He wins the Kyoto Kinen.
Yep. And then he successfully defends his title in the Hanshin Daisho 10. This time using his veteran stamina to defeat a rising young star named Jungle Pocket.
Showing the new kids on the block that the old man still has the lungs for it. But the major career-defining G1 victories still elude him. He actually creates this bizarre, slightly heartbreaking record, 3 consecutive third-place finishes in the exact same G1 race, the Tenno Spring.
It's just wild.
This time, instead of losing to Opera O, he loses to a younger horse named Manhattan Cafe. Then later that year, he wins the Kyoto Daisho 10, but in the Tenno Autumn, he comes agonizingly close again, finishing second behind Simboli Chris S.
It perfectly encapsulates the story of his career. He is always right there, always second, always third, capable of beating the young upstarts one week, but just missing the ultimate prize the next.
Which brings us to his final race. The 2002 Arima Kinen. Look at his resume at this point. He hasn't won a G1 race in 3 full years. He's been beaten down by his peers. He's survived terrifying high-speed accidents. He's been economically excluded, and he's currently being overshadowed by a whole new generation of younger, faster horses. And yet, when the fans vote on who should enter the Arima Kinen, they vote Narita Top Road #1.
He finishes 4th in that final race, and then he formally retires.
But that fan poll that is such a beautiful, striking contradiction to how we usually view sports. Usually sports fans are incredibly fickle. They abandon losers. They flock to the shiny, undefeated winner because they want to associate themselves with dominance. But Narita Top Road's repeated, agonizing losses actually fueled his popularity.
Because fans saw their own daily struggles reflected in him. This raises an important question about how we perceive our heroes. Greatness isn't measured only in the sterile math of victories. Top Road was loved precisely because he kept trying. When victory seemed completely, historically out of reach, he absorbed the absolute heaviest blows from one of the strongest generations in Japanese racing history, and he just kept standing back up.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more.